I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. It seems like MAGA Republican Speaker of the House Kevin McCarthy's days are numbered serving as the Speaker of the House. He's been the weakest, most spineless Speaker of the House in American history. We saw this coming here on the MeidasTouch Network 5 months ago. We did a video, Bye Kevin. Kevin McCarthy may be removed as Speaker after recent move. We've been chronicling what's going to happen. Of course, it is now coming into focus 5 months later, but the writing was on the wall back then. We did another video. He lets it slip. Kevin McCarthy, big mishap on live TV, exposes the destructive plan of Republicans. This from Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen to Kevin McCarthy. Do your job, Kevin. Treasury Department gives dire warning to Kevin McCarthy. Or this one, Kevin McCarthy can't handle the most basic task. We did that video 3 months ago. How about this one from 3 months ago? Bye-bye, Kevin. Republicans go off script and turn on Kevin McCarthy, or turn against Kevin McCarthy. So if you've been following the MeidasTouch Network, you've seen that we've been covering each of these instances where we think Kevin McCarthy's getting weaker and weaker and weaker. And this is how we got to this position today, where MAGA Republicans refuse to fund the government. You have this draft motion to vacate, to remove Kevin McCarthy that was found by a reporter, just kind of left out there in the halls of Congress. And so I think the MAGA Republicans left that there for the reporter to find and report on. Here is Kevin McCarthy acting completely shocked that these other MAGA Republicans, who literally said they want to burn down government, want to burn it down. Watch a flustered Kevin McCarthy. Play this clip.
Frustrating in the sense that I don't understand why anybody votes against bringing the idea and having the debate. And then you got all the amendments if you don't like the bill. This is a whole new concept of individuals that just want to burn the whole place down. It doesn't work.
Here's Kevin McCarthy complaining that his job is just so hard. Play the clip.
That come from the Senate?
It's hard to pass everything in this place. We started out in a 5-seat majority. I got one member who's now resigned. We got a couple members who are out as well. Anything we do is pretty tough in life. But you know what? This country is too great and too big to give up, and I'm never going to give up on it.
This is a rattled Kevin McCarthy whining again. Play the clip.
Why are they voting against being... Think about what they're voting against. They're voting against even bringing the bill up to have a discussion about it, to vote on it. If you're opposed to the bill, vote against the bill at the end. You've got more than 170 amendments. You could change it if you don't like it. But the idea that you vote against a rule to even bring it up, that makes sense. What about this?
And here is Kevin McCarthy on refusing to allow President Zelensky to address Congress. Play this clip.
Did you turn down a joint session of Congress for Zelensky, President Zelensky?
Zelensky asked for a joint session. We just didn't have time. He's already given a joint session. So what we're doing for Zelensky is exactly the same thing we did for the Prime Minister of the UK, the Prime Minister of Italy. We're putting the bipartisan group of members together to meet with him. No different than we did with anybody else. And this is a little busy week. We're dealing with the funding issue. I don't know how we could slip that in such a short time.
So what are you going to say to him? What are you going to say to Zelensky?
Well, I think the best part is to sit down and walk through the question. What is the plan for victory? Where are we currently on the field? The accountability issues that a lot of members have questions. Just walk through that.
Here is MAGA Republican Matt Gaetz saying that the failure to fund government is the fault of Republicans, and specifically the fault of Kevin McCarthy. Here it is in his own words, folks. Matt Gaetz, play the clip.
Members are fighting for would be helpful to our deliberative process. And so we endeavor upon that work today. But there can be no denying that Mr. Neguse made very valid points in criticizing this Republican majority for having not done so sooner. And we own that failure, and now we have to break the fever. We have to kick the habit of governing by omnibus and continuing resolution. This government is about to run $2 trillion annual deficits. We are $33 trillion in debt. Both parties have contributed to that substantially, and I believe the reason that regardless of which party is controlling the place, we seem to always gravitate to these omnibus bills and continuing resolutions is because we don't have the courage to actually cut spending. And the discussions that we just witnessed on the Homeland Security bill, on the State and Foreign Ops bill, those are precisely what our constituents expect of us. So while I know that this is but a step and there's a great deal of work to do, while I know that it was a bad sign that Speaker McCarthy at 3 o'clock on a Thursday functionally sent people home, I am heartened that you are here. I am heartened that my colleagues from across the Republican conference are here to work through these measures. And I believe the rule that you are about to vote on and hopefully pass provides us the greatest platform to do deliberative governing and to reduce spending in a way that is consistent with our values and the reality of divided government that we currently live in. I thank the committee for its indulgence, and I yield back.
Here is Matt Gaetz again saying the shutdown is the fault of Kevin McCarthy. Play the clip.
I believe the government is going to shut down.
Yes, and it's Kevin McCarthy's fault that the government is going to shut down because we didn't move individual spending bills. We cannot blame the Democrats for having not done our job to comply with the coalition agreement that we made at the beginning of the year. That is the fault of the Speaker, and I believe that if he does not immediately remediate that, he will likely face a motion to vacate. I'm not for everyone. I get that. But a deal's a deal. And if Kevin McCarthy wasn't willing to honor the deal that he made to assume the speakership, then he should not have agreed to those terms. Inside Washington, D.C., people think they can just lie all the time with impunity and that no one's ever going to call them on their bullshit. But, Kevin broke this deal, and I intend to hold him to that deal or to hold daily votes on a motion to vacate. Yeah, I'm pretty frustrated, and I had so much hope when Speaker McCarthy made this agreement that we could turn this place around during both Republican and Democrat control. But instead, all we've gotten are lies and broken promises and failure and shutdowns. And while that may be Kevin McCarthy's legacy, it will not be mine.
Here is Matt Gaetz, MAGA Republican, giving an interview saying Kevin McCarthy is morally bankrupt. Play the clip.
You know why? Because Kevin McCarthy would never put anything above his own power and his own ambition. So he can't even contemplate putting family first. And it showed another reason why he's not just an ineffective leader, but a morally bankrupt one.
Here is Democratic Congress member Jim McGovern basically saying, I don't know, maybe I should meet with Kevin McCarthy. It seems that when you speak to Kevin McCarthy, he tells you you've got a deal, then you don't have a deal, then you have a deal. Seems like Kevin McCarthy is just looking for an escape room. Watch Democratic Congress member McGovern just eviscerate Kevin McCarthy. Play this clip.
Please just be honest. These bills are partisan talking points, and we need to get serious. Like yesterday, I said it earlier and I'll say it again. People are fed up with Kevin McCarthy's weak, ineffective, incompetent leadership. It's like every room the speaker goes into is an escape room. He just does whatever he needs to do to get out, even if it means caving to MAGA Republicans every single time. He has one meeting and Ukraine money is in. The next meeting, the Ukraine money is out. Maybe I should ask for a meeting with him. All he does is say yes. Maybe I'll get something I want. But enough already.
It's fall, which means you should be picking apples, not wedgies. Get yourself new underwear that'll take care of your whole fruit basket. That's Tommy John. When you wear Tommy John, you're that much more comfortable, so you can do everything better. Tommy John underwear and loungewear have dozens of comfort innovations, like breathable, lightweight, moisture-wicking fabric with 4 times the stretch of competing brands that keep you comfortable no matter what the season throws at you. With over 20 million pairs sold, 20 million, and thousands of 5-star reviews, guys across America love their Tommy Johns because there's no sticking or chafing. That's why Tommy John doesn't have customers, they have fanatics. One Tommy John fanatic raves, the most comfortable boxer briefs ever. There's no downside. Buy one pair, you'll never want to wear any other underwear again. Now, I love my Tommy Johns. They made me look and feel great. I am urging you, if you haven't tried Tommy Johns yet, go get yourself a pair immediately. Plus, you're always covered with Tommy John's best pair you'll ever wear, or it's free guarantee. Get 20% off your first order right now at TommyJohn.com/Meidas. Save 20% at TommyJohn.com/Meidas. That's TommyJohn.com/Meidas. See site for details.
This is embarrassing. This is Democratic Congress member again, Jim McGovern, addressing Matt Gaetz. Lauren Boebert and a few of the other MAGA Republicans who stayed in Congress. Remember, at the end of last week, Kevin McCarthy tried to adjourn Congress, but didn't even have the votes to adjourn. Kevin McCarthy didn't even have the votes to vote on a debate to vote on spending bills, and Kevin McCarthy didn't even have the votes to adjourn Congress. So he just told people basically to leave. Some of the people, though, still ended up showing up. And so here you have Democratic Congress member McGovern speaking to Gates and Boebert and these others saying, I guess you're in charge. I guess you're in charge right now. Play the clip.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman, and let me welcome the panel. Finally, a panel that includes people who are in charge around here. Dr. Burgess just went through wistfully all the things that used to be and things that he wished were in place today. You all have as well, but I'll remind you, you're in charge. You can't blame Nancy Pelosi for this. You can't blame Joe Biden for this. The Republicans control the House of Representatives. You can have as many open or closed rules as you want. Not only has the appropriations process been a complete mess, but the process in general has. And this is not a slight to my friend, Mr. Cole, because I know he is on the side of more openness, but there have been 37 completely closed rules this year. That's more closed rules to date than the previous two Congresses.
Here is Democratic Congress member Joe Neguse saying, what I really want to understand here is Kevin McCarthy and you MAGA Republicans, we've been doing all these hearings on gas stoves and Mr. Potato Head and public peeing, public urination. That's what but you haven't been doing what your actual job is. Watch Democratic Congress member Neguse play the clip.
The Appropriations Committee, I have substantive disagreements which we'll go through with respect to this particular bill, but the committee marked up the bill. And my point that I'm simply trying to better understand, I suppose, or the question that I am trying to reconcile in my mind is why the House Republican majority decided to spend the summer on bills regarding gas stoves and the lesser prairie chicken and then send everyone home for a 47-day recess only to come back and 7 days before the government is slated to shut down and troops and Border Patrol agents are slated to not receive paychecks, decide that now they'd like to bring this bill to the floor. That is my point. Your answer in the very beginning was a candid one that, I should talk to who's running the place. And that clearly is the Speaker and the Republican leadership. So I suppose, I don't know that they testify in front of this committee, so maybe I'll be waiting, and the American people will be waiting on an answer.
Here is Republican Representative Mike Lawler referring to other Republicans as basically being a complete and utter circus, how dysfunctional Republicans are. Republicans saying this about Republicans. You'll see, I'm showing you the clips. Very little my opinion and commentary. I'm just showing you this is what Republicans are saying, how dysfunctional they are. Play the clip.
This is not conservative republicanism. This is stupidity. The idea that we're going to shut the government down when we don't control the Senate, we don't control the White House. These people can't define a win. They don't know how to take yes for an answer. It's a clown show. You keep running lunatics, you're going to be in this position.
And here is Republican radio host Hugh Hewitt blaming other groups of MAGA Republicans for not allowing government to be funded. Play the clip.
House Republicans hang separately. The caucus, the knucklehead caucus, is back together. The 5 Republican congressmen who are to the far right of the party, you may like them, you may hate them, it doesn't matter. There are 5. They are stopping the Republicans from funding the Department of Defense. Journal other headline, McCarthy hits new hurdles with holdout Republicans. It's the Gates caucus, the knucklehead caucus. Now, I know some of you like Matt Gates. I don't. I don't think he would pass the spelling bee. I don't know how he got into college. I don't know if he went to college. But I'll tell you one thing, he did not understand math. All right, or destroying the party's electoral chances next fall. But if anyone can fix it, Kevin McCarthy. Will stand and wait and see.
And finally, here is the Democratic whip, Catherine Clark. And here, Democratic Congresswoman Clark is just like, Kevin McCarthy has lost all control. Play the clip.
Kevin McCarthy has lost control of the gavel. With this announcement today, he has proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that the Republican conference is controlled by conspiracy theorists, devoid of reasonable voices that are coming here to govern and solve problems. Donald Trump is the ultimate puppet master. Marjorie Taylor Greene is calling the shots. They ignored their constituents, and they have purged their ranks of anyone who could call themselves a moderate. If there were moderates left, where are they? Why haven't they demanded a vote? Why haven't they come out and called this a distraction, a gross political stunt? Why? Because MAGA extremists are running the House.
Folks, I think we should just put the countdown of when Kevin McCarthy will be removed. And again, we've been following this and tracking this. If you've been watching the MeidasTouch Network, I know everybody's talking about this now, but the same way on the court cases, how we've been following the data and that's how we predict, okay, this is what we think the order is going to be. This is what the order is going to be. We've been following each of these incidents involving McCarthy that have led to this moment. It's certainly overwhelming when you see the videos that we put together like this one today, but we've been following this for a very, very, very long time. And again, there's a reason that we say Kevin McCarthy is spineless and the weakest speaker of the House in American history. And here, just put the split screen right here. You can see Kevin McCarthy's whining about not being able to do anything. And you can see the list of accomplishment after accomplishment of Nancy Pelosi when she had the same majority and she was the Speaker of the House. It's not even close. So you may not agree with all of the things that Nancy Pelosi has said or did. I think she was a great speaker, but you may disagree with that. At the end of the day, she ran a functional House of Representatives. And folks, we need adults in these positions. We need professionals, and MAGA Republicans and Republicans simply, they don't do their job. At the basic, they don't do their job and have this fascist, traveling, weird, dangerous circus, whatever that is. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Hit subscribe. We're on our way to 2 million subscribers thanks to your awesome support. Check us out at patreon.com/MeidasTouch. Have a great day.
Hey Meidas Mighty, love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram at MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.